them that we picked up today. Some really good stuff. So we got 3 cigars. Seem to be very interesting. Let's smoke one of them. Probably gonna smoke this one today. So yeah, 3 cigars that we picked up. So we have a couple more yap sessions to get to. We're gonna keep this one short because it was raining today. It's a little breezy, so we're gonna start with the short one today and then get to the other ones. We have Olivia, Connecticut Reserve. This one right here is Champagne, 10th anniversary edition. And this one, I don't know the name of it, but I'm gonna start with this one today. There we go. Ooh. Episode 3 of the Cigar Yap Session. It's a little bit of overcast out today. It was raining pretty hard, but we still got to get it out. It's going to be raining for the next couple days, and right now it's a pretty good time to make this video because it stopped raining. So a lot of things happening in the gaming industry right now. Battlefield 6 just came out a couple days ago, and I've been having a blast streaming that game. So if you guys want to see me play Battlefield 6, I've been uploading clips to my channel, and I've been streaming that game every day, so you guys can check that out. Spark this up a little bit more. This is smooth. This is really smooth. I picked up 3 cigars today, like I mentioned earlier, and I've been getting into it a lot more. There's a car passing by right now. There we go, there we go. There was a car that just passed by, so it was making a lot of noise, and then I had to respark this because it was going a little bit dim, so sorry about the brief break. So yeah, Battlefield 6. I've been having an absolute blast on that game. Yeah, we've been playing a lot of Conquest, playing a lot of Breakthrough. I started playing Breakthrough yesterday, and man, I like the reworks that they did and the changes that they did to Breakthrough compared to the beta. But yeah, Conquest is my #1 mode. Breakthrough is right there next to it. Like I said, been streaming the game a lot. We're gonna have a lot more content around that game coming out, on top of other stuff, playing a couple of single-player games here and there. So I've been having a blast playing Battlefield 6. 747,000 players on Steam, all-time peak, and then yesterday was like a peak of 600K. And this is not even to mention the EA app and console gamers. So we're well over 1 million players, 2 million players on the game. And it's a hit, it's a success. It's putting a lot of pressure on Call of Duty to show up, but Black Ops 7 is what it is. When they had the beta for that game, they could barely even break 100K players, so. When the beta for Battlefield 6 came out, it was at 500K players on Steam, I believe. If I'm correct, yep. And then the full release of the game broke the beta numbers, which is insane. So Call of Duty has a lot of work to do these next couple of years to be able to compete because they can't retain their players anymore. The players are leaving, and they got rid of skill-based matchmaking and stuff like that to bring the casuals back, but that's not enough. Like your game has to be a very solid game. And what Battlefield did was Battlefield listened to the community. They engaged with the community. They had a lot of extensive testing of the game, pre-alpha, alpha, and then the beta, and listened to the feedback of the community and improved the game. And it's only going to get better over time. So And this isn't just about the multiplayer scene of things, right? You have to think about it from the gaming industry as a whole, because single player games can learn a lesson from a game like Battlefield, where 2042 launched in a really, really bad state. They fixed the game, but they still weren't able to bring back the players that they lost, right? And it took them going through that to get to where we're at now with Battlefield 6. So some franchises can recover. I think Call of Duty does have the ability to recover from a down year that they're going to have with Black Ops 7, but it's going to take a lot of work. They have to listen to the community. and listen to the feedback, because they neglected multiplayer so long and had everybody funneled into Warzone that when Warzone got stagnant, nobody was coming back to multiplayer. So we'll see what happens. The other side needs to get burnt a little bit more. There we go. But yeah, Battlefield 6 is a lot of fun. I'm having a blast. I've always played Battlefield back since Bad Company 2. I've been alternating between that, Call of Duty, and Halo. But Call of Duty needs to be very, very careful, right? Because you don't want to put yourself in the position that Halo is right now, where your franchise is so down in the dumps that no matter what you do, you can't bring the players back. So we'll see what Infinity Ward does. We'll see what Sledgehammer does in the future. But EA, DICE really cooked up with Battlefield 6. Like I said, you listen to the community, you go back to the roots of what made your game great, and everybody's going to play it. And you're going to be able to attract even new players. People need to understand, it's not just the core audience that you want to appeal to. It's the core audience, but also the masses. And that's what Battlefield 6 does. Like I said, 747,000 players. 747,000 players on Steam alone is insane. And then if you extrapolate that data to the EA app and console, that's even more. Like I said, well over 1 million, well over 2 million players. And this is the numbers that Call of Duty used to do back in the day. They don't put up those numbers anymore. Like I said, Black Ops 7 beta didn't even break all. It barely broke over 100K players on Steam. You extrapolate that to other platforms, and it's probably even less. And we've seen with the Battlefield 6 beta, they had over 500K people playing the game at its all-time peak on Steam. And that surpassed Call of Duty's all-time peak, which is at like 400K. Insane. Now they're doing that on the average day. Absolutely insane. Whew. Even though it's a bit of a chilly day with some rain and a little bit of overcast, you still gotta enjoy nature. A lot of people need to get outside, take a little break. I've been grinding Battlefield 6. Not gonna lie, I'm like level 33 right now. A couple of my favorite guns for you guys that I'm going to say right now. M4A1, really nice gun. The M433 is also really nice. The MP5 is really good. And then my favorite gun from the beta, M417. That gun hits so hard. Now some people are gonna have a little bit of trouble with the recoil. Me, I played PUBG back in the day. Recoil means nothing to me. So mastering the recoil pattern, you get inside that gun range, that firing range, get some attachments, start experimenting. That's the thing. Some people are complaining about the attachment grind. And I'm like, listen, the game is about playing it over an extended period of time. So what if you have to grind for the attachments? It makes it even funner. Plus, the good thing about the game is the depth of the systems, right? Like learning the maps, learning the game modes, engaging with the guns, figuring out the attachments. People trying to pull out like their meta builds and stuff like that. The best thing you can do with a game like Battlefield or any other shooter is learn the guns, engage with the guns, unlock the attachments, and figure out what works for you. Because what I might like in regards to how a gun feels with attachment might be different from you. And then you also have to take into account inputs. So a gun might feel better on M&K than it does on controller, and vice versa. A gun might feel better on controller because of how the bullet spread and recoil pattern feels for you. That's good. This is good. This is really good. Like I said, if you guys are cigar connoisseurs, let me know in the comment section because this is great. In other news, separate from the Battlefield stuff, I didn't talk about this on my channel yet, but Xboxes are being pulled off shelves. Costco already got rid of Xboxes. I believe Sam Clubs got rid of Xboxes, so they're not selling them. And it's looking like Target and Walmart are going to follow suit and stop selling Xboxes in their stores. What does this mean? It means that the Xbox brand as we knew it, and I've been saying this for years, but I have to reiterate this point. The Xbox brand as we knew it 10 to 15 years ago is no longer a thing. They're cooked. And they're not going to exit the console business, but the console business and the way that they operated their strategy is going to be radically different entering the next generation. And I want people to understand that Xbox was uniquely positioned coming into this generation to make a comeback, and they didn't. The Activision Blizzard deal did more damage to Microsoft and Xbox than people really realized. And Lena Khan tried to tell you guys about that. And a lot of you guys went hard. You guys went crazy on her on social media. And I want you to look at the results of what Xbox is going through right now. They deserve this. Now, if I'm the CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, I would want to turn Xbox around. I will want to turn my gaming business around because you overpaid $69 billion, almost $70 billion for Activision Blizzard. Massive overpay. And don't get me wrong, Activision Blizzard has multiple billion-dollar IPs under their belt that generate a lot of revenue, but they're not worth no damn $69 billion. $69 billion is insane, especially when you look at a lot of the issues that they were going through internally back then. All the lawsuits, civil lawsuits, you know, all the drama that they were going through with their culture and sexual harassment, and one woman who was going through such a bad time at that company that she offed herself was insane. And you guys, Microsoft, you were convinced to spend $69 billion on Activision Blizzard. And I've said this before, now they can't even get the return on that purchase. It's one thing to buy Bethesda, right? The Bethesda purchase made sense. It wasn't a crazy amount of money. $69 billion for Activision Blizzard? Nah, man. Insane. You're not selling enough consoles. You're not selling enough software. And then Game Pass most recently surpassed $5 billion in revenue for the first time ever. And you're losing subscribers on Game Pass. So when I look at the Activision Blizzard deal with Microsoft, like I said, massive overpay, and it's done more damage to Xbox than people really realize. And now retailers are pulling your product out of their stores and freeing up that shelf space for other stuff. It's a crazy world we live in. A couple changes that need to be made. Some people at the top of Xbox and Microsoft Gaming have been there for too long. We gotta start with Phil Spencer, Sarah Bob, Matt Booty, and a couple of those guys and those higher-ups at Microsoft. They gotta go. They gotta go. I'm sorry. And all of these people on social media the content creators who've linked up with Phil Spencer over the years, done podcasts with him, taking pictures, going to events, and bootlicking. You're not helping the Xbox brand, and you're not helping Xbox gamers, because you will go out to these events, break bread with these Xbox executives and higher ups, right? Then, like, you're not really giving them the real feedback and criticism that they need, because you're trying to be friends with them. And now they're at the point where it's like, oh my god, I have to disassociate from the Xbox brand. Look at all this bad news, all this bad press. Well, listen, instead of you trying to be friends with these guys who are trying to make a buck off of gamers, right? They don't care about you, and trying to build these industry relationships with these guys, they need to go because you guys sold out for a pat on the back and a handshake with a man who's done more damage to Xbox and Microsoft gaming than you realize. Phil needs to go. Matt Booty needs to go. Sarah, all these people need to go. If I'm Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, and I want to turn around the Xbox business, they need to go. All that money that they spent on Activision Blizzard and all these other acquisitions that aren't yielding a nice return on investment, just to throw it in Game Pass, no. That money should have went to advertising. That money should have went to marketing. That money should have went towards trying to maximize the amount of sales you can get from Xbox. The console matters, hardware matters, and you have these idiots. I'm sorry to say that they're idiots, but you have these people with these idiotic tastes. I'm not going to call them idiots. That's a bit insulting. That's going too far. You have these guys with idiotic takes that say that hardware doesn't matter. Hardware does matter. You need to sell people on your hardware so they can get in your ecosystem. Trying to tell people, oh, cloud and PC and handhelds are going to get people in the Xbox ecosystem? No. Because if you look at the amount of PCs that they are in the wild and the fact that they haven't grown Game Pass to be even bigger than what it is on PC, should show you something. The Xbox brand is dead. They don't care about the ecosystem. You need to revitalize your brand, and you need a clean house. Clean house at Microsoft. It starts with the leadership. It starts at the very top. You need people who are very, very competitive and understand, hey, this market we're not going to lose. We're not going to lose this market because the moment that Microsoft exits gaming, it's going to get even worse from companies like Sony and PlayStation as well as Nintendo. And then they're going to start jacking up prices even more than what they're doing now. Xbox is more beneficial for gaming if they're competitive than when they're not competitive. And right now they're not competitive. And then you're going to have the fanboys from these other systems, right? For these other plastic boxes that are preying on Xbox's downfall, and they're happy about it. And there's nothing to be happy about because the platform that you're shilling for is not that much better than Microsoft. And I said this in the previous Cigar Yap session. PlayStation, they sold you out. They sold out the gamers who love their single player first party IP games for live service. They're trying to generate billions and billions of dollars off of live service revenue off of you guys. And they fumbled half the generation chasing live service. Now they have to pivot back. On top of the fact that Herman Holt said it out of his own mouth. He said, hey, we're still committed to live service games. They have to rework the strategy, but they're still committed to it. And Nintendo, what do I have to say about Nintendo? You guys already know about Nintendo. I said, I'm still optimistic about the gaming industry long term, but some things need to be corrected within the gaming industry because if some of the trends that we're seeing continues into next decade, it's going to get even worse. And that's the honest reality of the situation that we're in right now. We're in a transition period right now, and a lot of people are not realizing it. We are in a huge transition period in gaming where there's a culture shift, there is a content shift with not only just YouTube, but Twitch, Kick and stuff like that, TikTok. There's a huge shift happening in gaming, but also in the broader world and the broader economy. But to keep it focused on gaming, there's going to be some corrections that take place within gaming that a lot of people aren't ready for. And some of your favorite games are going to be impacted by it. Look at the Battlefield 6 versus Call of Duty thing that's happening right now. And like I said, if Call of Duty doesn't get their act together, they're going to be the next dying franchise. and they're going through a bit of struggles right now, retaining their player base, but it's gonna keep going down if they don't get their shit together. Like I said, there's plenty of examples in gaming from multiplayer and single player of franchises that stood the test of time, that come and gone, got put on the shelf. That got put on the shelf, and you will never see those games again. You will never see some of those games again. So I hope a lot of people are prepared. Hope a lot of people are prepared. A couple shout outs. Let me shout out the subscribers, the viewers for tuning into the streams, watching the videos. We're gonna have an in-depth Battlefield 6 video coming soon. I'm also working on my Infamous video. Shout out to Kid Smooth, shout out to Block Cigar, shout out to Logan, the OGPX crew. And hey, we're gonna have more content on the way. Things are looking up. Things are looking up. But yeah, Kid Smooth has to stream more. Smooth, if you see this, please stream more. I understand, some things happen in life, but I think when Kid Smooth streams, there's so much content he can get off of his stream. He can clip his stream, make them into shorts, post them on Twitter and everything like that. He has a nice community. So I think if he's more consistent with streaming, then there's videos that can come out of it. It's like, yo, if you're playing the game, stream it. That would be my thing to him. Like, yo, stream whatever you're playing. Whatever game that you're going through, play it. Play it, stream it. That's it. Same thing with some other guys in the community. Cause I'm keeping it consistent with my streams. Gotta make some more videos, but we're doing it. We're doing the thing, and we're gonna keep growing. And hopefully we hit 500 subs pretty soon. So this is pretty much it for the video. I'm gonna finish the rest of this, and I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.